They say vision without action is a daydream. Action without vision is a nightmare. Let's go.
Peace, y'all. Alright, bus. I ain't got a selfie stick, so I'm just gonna use my long ass arms. And we gonna take a little walk. Who wants to walk with me? Who wants to talk with me? We out here on the farm, we out here in some peace. And that's where they don't want you. They want you huddled up in the city. They want you fearful. They want you caged up. They want you masked up. And they want you to get away from your organic self. So you can take a little walk with your man Davey. And we're going to talk about some real things. And see if we can't bring some sense to this situation. And this crazy ass life that we're living in right now. So evil exists. Yeah, I know there's a lot of cognitive dissonance for a lot of those good people out there, and they just can't believe it. But evil exists. I mean, bad things exist. Let's talk about one of the topics of today: police brutality. Police brutality. And who are police? Police are people. They're people with uniforms on, right? So, policeman is just some dude named Jeff. You know what I mean, with the blue suit on, and they gave him a gun, but he's just a person. And so with my logic, I would argue, you know, is there a police brutality problem? Is it systemic within the police force? Because the numbers don't really show that. They show, I think last year, you know, like 14 unarmed black dudes or something like that got gunned down by the police. 24 white dudes, I think, or white people. Anyways, so the numbers aren't adding up there because a lot more black dudes killed each other in the hood than police did, which gets to my point of evil, and gets to my point of people who choose evil over good. You know, any of you who are from a lower socioeconomic background like myself probably saw a lot of fucked up stuff and a lot of evil stuff as a child. You know, you might have seen people, you know, or heard about people raping and maiming each other, hitting each other with hammers, and shooting each other and stabbing each other and all those type of things. And so that is the choice of a human being, or we hope most of us are human now in this world anyway, but that's a choice that a human being might make out of anger, out of fear, out of rage, out of, or just pure going on to the dark side. But people will rape and maim and hurt each other, right? And so people can be evil. People can do bad things to each other. So is it a police brutality problem, or is it just a people problem? You know, is it you know, is it just a government issue, like politician issue, or is it the fact that there are people who, when they're given a position of power or ascend to a position of power, that they will, you know, start to abuse that, and they will start to manipulate others? And I think that, you know, systemically is what the real problem is. People, let's be honest. What's our issue? Who's usually our biggest enemy? It's usually ourself. And right now, you know, these powers that be, and some of them might not even be human if you do your research, or might be hybridized. That's a whole nother video. Again, I'll try to stay on track, excuse me. But you know, basically these powers that be, they're trying to take away our humanity. They don't want us communing. They don't want us enjoying nature. You know, they don't want us walking around and seeing the hummingbirds fly, and they don't want us at cookouts, you know, sharing information and knowledge and love with each other. And that's what they're really trying to destroy. That's what they're doing with this whole COVID thing. That's what they're doing with this, you know, police versus people thing, black versus white, left versus right, Democrat versus Republican. It's all division. It's all polarization. And it's all very confusing to a lot of you, I'm sure. But to wrap up the police brutality thing, it's like people are brutal to each other. You know, why is it okay if two civilians, you know, destroy each other? One cuts the other one's head off and, you know, puts them in the back of a trunk or something like happened to me when I was a kid, or I found out about there being a dead body in my next door neighbor's trunk. And like, damn, you know, at 6 years old, that's kind of disheartening. Why would somebody do that to somebody else, you know? And so us as humans, we have to say, hey, is it, you know, merely as simple as, hey, these people, or these people who have this job, those are the ones that are bad, and that's what we have to, you know, get rid of? You know, obviously not. Obviously, there's no logic in that. You know, you remove police who are there to protect people, even though some of them may have abused that. They still do lower crime when they're out. You know, people aren't going to go, you know, killing people, shooting each other, shooting people in front of the cops because they don't want to, you know, get caught. So that's just, you know, basic logic. Of course, you know, the police are going to, you know, have a certain protective element. So we get rid of them, we're going to have more chaos. We're going to have, you know, more of the evil flourishing. And that's what they're trying to create, you know, that environment. That's what they want to go on. And they want you to beg for them to bring in some protection. The protection they bring in is going to be the military. And you're not going to like some dudes who just been doing tours in Afghanistan, because they're going to be even more stressed out and have post, you know, traumatic stress issues and have been trained a different way than a police officer. So, you know, be careful what you wish for, Minneapolis. And, you know, you liberal retards out there who really don't have knowledge of self, you know, Antifa, fascist, vegan, white people screaming Black Lives Matter. And let's get on Black Lives Matter. Who's behind Black Lives Matter? George Soros, a Nazi. Who's taking part in Black Lives Matter? A bunch of white vegans from Oregon and fucking, you know, places where they never even seen black people. So that might be a little suspect. And you might be able to ascertain that stuff is not organic. You know, so they're sending out all these mixed messages to you, and they want to divide and conquer. But, you know, I just want to get into this human aspect of humanity and how humans, you know, destroy each other. They take advantage of each other. There's narcissists out there. There's evil people. There's divisive people. There's destructive people. And that is the issue. The issue is with humanity and that choice between good and evil. And the greatest gift that the Creator ever gave, in my opinion, is that you get to choose between good and evil. Because if you didn't get to choose, you would just be, you know, an automaton. You'd be a robot. And you wouldn't be able to be good and virtuous because you would have no choice. But it's that choice that says, hey, I can, you know, throw this baby off a balcony and watch it perish. Or I can nurture this thing and raise it up and create another life that can then create another life, and so on and so forth. So what is your basic principle? Are you about creation or are you about destruction? And then look at that. What are these rioters doing? They're destroying things. They're tearing down statues. They want to erase the history so they can rewrite it. And, you know, you have to know your history to learn from your mistakes. And so all this destruction and looting and rioting, you know, it's just a manifestation of what's going on in the human psyche. And it's a manifestation of this, you know, oppressed reality that's been going on that we call civilization, which is pretty far from civilized, but it's been going on for quite some time now. And it's probably, you know, in people's genetics at this point. It's locked in their DNA, and you're either the oppressor or you're the oppressed, or you're trying to get from being oppressed, and then you're likely to become an oppressor if you're not careful and if you're not conscious and if you don't know what you're doing. So evil is real, folks. You know, Jeffrey Dahmer, you know, there's psychopaths out there. There's crazy people. You know, there's people who beat their kids for, you know, 18 years and throw their kids in a plastic bag and throw them in the trash and all types of stuff, man. And really, like I've spoke about in other self videos, it's a Freudian slip. What I've talked about in other of my videos is that self-love is the answer. Self-love is the key, and knowledge of self, knowing that you're a little bit more than just, you know, skin and bones and flesh, and that you have a soul, and that soul has likely incarnated many times. You know, it's going to give you a different outlook on life. You know, it's going to make it real hard to be racist when you realize that you've been other races and that you've been put in this avatar for a reason, to experience things from that filter. And that's what you chose to come into in this life. And so, you know, when you're all separated from yourself, you just see your life as just one short linear experience, and you may be frustrated because you're not getting what you want. or because you've been oppressed, or because you had bad parents, or your situation, and a whole host of things. You know, it's going to make it a lot more desperate for you, and it's going to be hard for you to get out of that mind fuck and that mind trap. But I'm here to tell you people that you're being lied to. You're seeing a small fraction of what life could be. And it's sad. There's shitty people out there, and they're landlords, they're cops, they're popes, they're presidents, they're all that. Because people can be shitty, and people can also be fucking awesome. They can be amazing. They can give you the shirt off their back. They can give you a ride home, even though they don't know you. They can, you know, secretly donate money to you or leave you a crazy large tip at a restaurant, even though they don't know you, just because they want to be awesome. They want to give back, you know. But there is good and evil, and there's a battle going on, people, and that's what it is now. And it's a spiritual battle, and you better choose your side, because it's going to get funky. And you better learn to be self-sufficient, and to trust in yourself, and to believe in yourself, because no one's coming to save you. And it's going to get funky out here, man. Who knows what they're going to pull next to try to indoctrinate people? Who knows what type of horrific shit they're going to try to show you to scare the fuck out of you? But it's a straight up scam. You can demonetize me. I'm not even monetized so I'm not even monetized yet, so I don't know what you can do about that. Your mask is not going to help you. It's made of cotton, and it actually makes you breathe in carbon monoxide. And that is not a solution. It's obviously complete BS. BLM is run by white people. Politicians don't love you. The economy is collapsing, even though the stock market appears to be doing well. There's like 60 million people unemployed. So we're in the greatest depression, probably in American history, maybe in world civilization history that we know of. So those are some little truth bombs that I'm dropping on you at the end. And just realize that, you know, you are going to be spiritually tested. You know, you are going to have to get right with your God, or with your higher force. And it's going to get better before it gets worse, people. But that doesn't mean that's not a beautiful thing, because, you know, all these lies and all this deception and all this fake matrix type society that's been going on for so long. I mean, I'm not saying it's not still going to be going on, but people are wising up. And there is going to be a revolution. And like I said, the revolution begins first in your mind. So I just wanted to hit y'all with a little peace of mind, a little piece of my mind, some thoughts to share, to hopefully make a little more sense of what's going on. But there are evil people out there, and that's a choice that a person gets to make. But there's also beautiful people out there. So, you know, focus on what you want to see in the world. Be the best person you can be. You don't have to be perfect, but always realize that good is stronger than evil. It has a higher vibration, and it will win in the end. And we're winning. You know, even though it's about to get bad, we're winning. Don't wear that mask in the supermarket. You know, there's ways around that. Tell them that you have a medical condition, and by law, you don't have to tell them what that is. But it's not safe for you to wear the mask. Stop acquiescing. Stop, you know, giggling and nodding to your weird leftist liberal friend that's just kicking a bunch of bullshit. You know, you don't have to get down with these fake movements. You know, just love your brother, love one another. Know we're all the same. There's good and bad people in every race, in every job, every profession, every state, every country, and that's just how it goes. You know, but choose good, man, because good's gonna win. And evil, y'all some fucking suckers. Y'all about to catch that hard L. Word is born. It's your man, One Davy. I'm out. One.